What does it take to become who you really are? What is missing for you to take full control of your own life and start creating the future you have always dreamed of? You already have the strength, clarity, courage, and ability within you. What is missing is to realize it. What is missing is to trust. Understand this. There is no secret to success. The secret is not in what you are not yet. It is in who you already are. The power you seek is within you. The only thing missing is the belief that you are already enough, that you already have everything you need to begin your transformation now. And this is exactly what many people never understand. They look outside for what is already inside. They believe they need more money, more time, more experiences, more certainties. But the reality is simple. Everything you need to move forward is already within you. And if you learn to access this truth, change will be inevitable. Imagine yourself in front of a mirror. What do you see? A person full of doubts? A tired body? An overwhelmed mind? Or do you see someone full of potential? Someone capable of weathering any storm and coming out stronger? Because the mirror doesn't lie. What you see there, the version of yourself that is reflected before your eyes, is just a reflection of your perception. If you believe that you are not enough, this will be reflected in the way you act, how you position yourself in life. But if you believe that you are already everything you need to be, the world will begin to shape itself according to that vision. You are more than what others see. You are more than the labels that society places on you. You are more than the mistakes you have made, more than the failures you have faced. You are a powerful soul, constantly evolving. You already have within you everything you need to achieve greatness. But the biggest obstacle between you and your fulfillment is fear. The fear of not being enough. The fear of not being in control. The fear of what others will think. The fear of the unknown. This is the monster you must defeat every day. And how do you defeat fear? The answer is simple: with action. Fear cannot survive where there is movement, where there is energy and determination. You cannot wait until you are ready. You cannot wait until all the ideal conditions are aligned. You have to act now. The simple act of taking action, of taking the first step, dissolves fear and lights the path ahead. And it is when you act with confidence, even without all the answers, that you begin to realize something incredible. The answers begin to emerge. The path begins to reveal itself. Think of the most inspiring figures in history. Edison, Ford, Lincoln, they all faced moments of doubt, failure, and rejection. They were no more than you. They had no fewer challenges, no fewer fears, no fewer obstacles. But what made them different was their unshakable belief that they were already all they needed to be. And most importantly, the courage to remember that. The courage to act on it, the courage to not let anything stop them. You too are capable of becoming one of those stories, and what sets you apart from them is not the lack of hardships, but your willingness to face those hardships with a heart full of confidence, courage, and action. You have within you the same strength, the same power, the same determination. You just need to remember that you are carrying a giant inside you, an immeasurable force waiting to be unleashed. But most people never know it because they hide behind excuses, behind doubt, behind fear. Make no mistake, excuses are what keep us small, what keep us chained. True freedom lies in knowing that you are already all that you need to be. And when you remember that, what seems impossible becomes just a matter of time. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What matters is where you decide to go. It doesn't matter what you've faced so far. What matters is what you're going to do with what you have. Your potential is limitless. You have the ability to transform any situation, to change any circumstance, to create any future. But to do so, You need to act now with the certainty that the power is already within you. You don't need to seek outside what is already within you. The first step to your greatness is to believe that you are already great. Not tomorrow, not when the conditions are perfect, but right now, in the exact moment that you decide to remember who you really are. This journey is not about becoming someone you are not. This journey is about remembering who you have always been. And as you remember, you will see the world open up before you in ways you never imagined possible. There is no limit to what you can achieve when you begin to believe that you are already all that you need to be. Have you ever wondered why some people, even in the face of great adversity, continue to move forward while others get lost in obstacles? The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who get stuck in difficulties is not luck, privilege, or innate talent. The difference lies in something very simple but extremely powerful: belief. The belief that you are more than your circumstances, that you are more than your mistakes, more than the difficulties you face. And when you believe this, you begin to see life differently. You no longer see the problem as an insurmountable wall, but as a challenge to be overcome. You no longer see failure as the end, but as a lesson, an opportunity for growth. Because you understand that every obstacle, every failure, every fall are just learning points, opportunities in disguise that will take you even further. But there is an even deeper secret, and that secret is your ability to transform your mindset into something even more powerful. Have you ever thought about what happens when you change the way you think about life? When you start to see each situation not as a burden, but as a chance to expand your horizons and grow in wisdom and strength? It all starts with your mind, what you think you become. The way you see life, the way you see yourself, will determine every step you take. When you see yourself as someone great, capable, you move in that direction. When you see yourself as someone limited, you block yourself. You create invisible barriers that prevent you from going further. Have you ever noticed how some people can face terrible situations, such as losses, failures, rejections, and still not let themselves get down? They have an unshakable belief that no matter how difficult the moment is, they have the power to rise again. And what makes this belief so strong? The understanding that true strength comes from within. Strength is not in external circumstances, in the conditions of life, but in your ability to control your thoughts, to control the way you react to the world. The truth is that we are much more than the story we tell ourselves. Each of us carries a unique story, a story of struggle, of challenges overcome, of moments of pain and glory. But the most important story you will ever tell is not about what happened to you. The most important story is about what you did with what happened. It is not about what life did to you, but what you did with life. When you start to change the story you tell yourself, you change everything. You change your relationship with fear, with failure, with rejection, with obstacles. They no longer become enemies, but allies. Allies who challenge you to grow, who test you and make you stronger. You begin to understand that everything that happens to you is an opportunity in disguise for you to become stronger, wiser, more capable. People like Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, Walt Disney, Henry Ford did not become great because life was easy for them. They did not have a smooth path. They had their struggles, their failures, their defeats. But the difference is that when they fell, they didn't see it as an end. They saw it as a lesson, an opportunity to adjust course, to rise stronger. They were always looking for the next solution, the next opportunity, the next great idea. And what made them great was not their ability to avoid failure, but their ability to learn from it, to keep moving forward even when it seemed impossible. The same goes for you. No matter how many times you've fallen, no matter how difficult the path is right now. What matters is your ability to keep going, to get back up, to remember that you are already everything you need to be. What you have inside of you is capable of transforming your reality. You already have the strength, the skill, the creativity, the intelligence. You just need to remember that. The mindset you choose to adopt today will determine your future. Every thought you have, every word you say, every action you take is shaping who you will become. So ask yourself, how do you want to see yourself in 5, 10, 20 years? Who do you want to be? What stories do you want to tell about yourself? The story of failure, fear and doubt, or the story of courage, overcoming and achievement? Now imagine yourself living your life as if you were already the person you want to be. What would it be like? What would your choices be? How would you behave? What risks would you take? What would you do differently? And most importantly, what would you stop doing? Because understand one thing, the biggest mistake you can make is to stop taking action. The biggest mistake is to postpone your dreams, to wait for perfection, for the ideal condition. Life does not wait for you. So get up. Don't wait another second. Don't wait for the next opportunity. Don't wait for another sign from the universe. The sign is already in front of you. The moment is now. You already have everything you need to get started. Don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination paralyze you. What you want is within your reach, and the only thing you need to do is believe that you are already capable of achieving it. Believe that you are worthy of it. Believe that you already have the power to change everything, to start now, to take the first step. Because you are already everything you need to be. You just need to remember. Have you ever stopped to think that most people live their lives as if they were waiting for something external to happen to change? They wait for the right time, the ideal opportunity, the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. It never comes with a bright sign, nor with a road without obstacles. The perfect moment is an illusion. True change only happens when you decide that the moment is now, when you decide that you are enough now, when you choose irrevocably to start now, regardless of the circumstances around you. And that is the power you have, the power to choose. You have the power to decide right now that what you want for your life begins with what you do today, with the mindset you adopt now, with the action you take in this very moment. Life does not wait for you. It is not waiting for you to become perfect, for you to feel prepared, or for you to have all the answers. It is waiting for you to start. Success is not created in perfection. Success is created in movement. And that is exactly what you need to understand. The power is in your movement. You are constantly evolving. And for this evolution to happen fully, you need to stop seeing yourself as a limited person, a person afraid of making mistakes, a person who waits for external permissions. You already have permission. The world has already given you permission by giving you life. You already have everything you need to grow, to conquer, to transform. But for that to happen, you need to stop doubting yourself. You need to start trusting your inner power. You need to start acting like the giant you truly are, not like the shadow of a fear that has paralyzed you in the past. Look at the historical figures who achieved great things. Each of them had to take the first step, had to make the decision to believe in something greater, had to overcome their own fears, criticism, and uncertainty. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb the first time. He failed thousands of times, but he didn't see these failures as barriers. He saw each attempt as a step closer to discovery, as a way of learning. He believed that deep down, he was already capable of creating something extraordinary, even when no one else believed in him. And this unshakable belief drove him to continue, until he won. You, like Edison, have the power to create your own reality. You have the power to turn your ideas into action, your dreams into achievements. But like him, you must be willing to face the fear of failure, You must be willing to be rejected, to be discredited, to be disrespected. And it is precisely at this moment that you prove yourself to yourself. When you face your fear head-on, without hesitation, without wavering, that is when the giant within you begins to awaken. It is important to understand that this process of transformation does not happen overnight. It requires consistency. It requires discipline. It requires focus. But at the same time, it is what makes it so powerful. Because you are not just creating a new future for yourself. You are creating yourself with every step, with every choice, with every action. You are becoming the person you were always destined to be. You are taking back your strength. You are reconnecting with your greater purpose. And there is nothing more powerful than that. You do not need to wait for external approval. Do not wait for someone to tell you that you are ready. You are already ready. You already have everything you need within you. The only requirement is that you choose to act now. The only requirement is that you choose to remember your true potential and let it manifest in your life. Don't wait any longer. Don't put off your dreams any longer. Don't let doubt or fear control your actions any longer. Every day is a new opportunity to remember who you really are. Every day is a chance to affirm your true nature and begin creating the life you desire. When you begin to remember that you are all you need to be, when you begin to act on that belief, the world opens up to you. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. Opportunities begin to appear where you once saw only obstacles. The only person who can change your life is you. Don't wait for external change. Don't wait for the world to give you what you want. The world only responds to what you offer. If you offer yourself the belief that you are already enough, the world will align with that belief. It will begin to offer you the opportunities, the people, the resources you need to move forward. But it all starts with you. It all starts with your choice to act as who you really are. Now, take a deep breath. Look inside yourself and see the giant that is waiting to be released. He is there, inside you, ready to take the reins of your life. He will not wait. He will not hesitate. He will act. And all you need to do is allow him to take control. Free yourself from the chains of doubt. Free yourself from the idea that you need to be perfect, that you need to have everything under control. You are already enough. And your true transformation begins now. When you remember your true power, when you remember that you are already all you need to be, there are no limits. What seemed impossible becomes possible. What seemed distant becomes closer. And you begin to create a life where your dreams are not only possible, but inevitable. There is nothing more powerful than self-confidence, the unshakable belief that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. And that belief, when you embrace it with all your soul, transforms your reality. You are already all you need to be. You just need to remember it. Now that you have realized the magnitude of what is within your reach, now that you understand that the power has never been outside of you, the next key is action. What separates those who dream from those who actually achieve the impossible is not intellectual capacity nor unusual talent, but the courage to act. Because ideas, dreams, goals are just seeds planted in the fertile soil of your mind. They only become something tangible when you put your hands to work, when you decide that movement is more important than fear. See, the difference between who you are now and who you can become is simple. Action. It's taking action even when fear tries to paralyze you. It's taking action even when the future seems uncertain. It's taking action knowing that the only way to fail is to not try, and that the only way to make a mistake is to not learn from what happened. Action doesn't have to be grand all the time, but it does have to be constant. Because when you take the first step, you've already started. And as you keep walking, the path becomes clearer, the future closer, and the transformation becomes visible. you will face moments of uncertainty. You will face fear. You will face doubt, hesitation, the questioning of, am I capable? And here's the secret. These feelings are normal. They don't mean you're not capable. They're part of the process. They're the test, the proof that you're on the right path. Because you only feel fear when you're heading towards something great. You only doubt when you're about to do something extraordinary. And if you were afraid of making mistakes, or if you were afraid of failing, you wouldn't be alive anymore. You wouldn't be growing. You wouldn't be moving forward. Fear is just a reflection of the greatness that's ahead of you. And what you do with that fear is what will determine your future. When you face fear head-on, you become unstoppable. And when you act in spite of it, you become unbreakable. Every step, every move you make is a declaration that you have chosen to be the person you were born to be. You have chosen not to be defined by external circumstances. You have chosen not to be molded by hardships, by limitations. You have chosen to be the bravest version of yourself. And that, my friend, is where true transformation begins. If you look at the lives of any person who has achieved something great, you will see that the common characteristic among them is not fear, but the courage to act in spite of it. Walt Disney was rejected more than 300 times before he secured financing for what is now one of the most powerful empires in the world. Henry Ford had to deal with a series of failures and criticisms before he created the Ford Motor Company empire. What these people had in common was not that they never failed. They failed. They were afraid. They doubted themselves. But what kept them going was their commitment to not give up, to not accept that failure was the end, but just part of the process. So when you find yourself facing an obstacle, facing a challenge, remember that resistance is not a barrier. Resistance is a sign that you are on the right path. It is the test of your determination, of your will to go further, to do more, to be more. Difficulties are not your enemies. They are your allies in the process of becoming stronger, more capable, wiser. And the more you face them, the more you realize that you are transforming into the best version of yourself. But transformation does not happen without a purpose. Everything you do must have a reason. When you have a clear purpose, life becomes a journey with direction, with meaning. Without purpose, you get lost in distractions, you get lost in everyday difficulties, and life becomes just an endless path. But when you have a clear vision of what you want, when you know what you are looking for, you become unbeatable. You have the strength to weather any storm, to climb any mountain, to break through any limit. Purpose is what gives meaning to all your actions, what gives energy to each step, what makes the journey worthwhile. And the most incredible thing is that this purpose is already within you. You just need to access it. You already know what is important to you. You already know what you really want to achieve. But often life distracts you with external noises, the voices of doubt, criticism, social expectations, pressure. But deep down, you know what is truly meaningful. You know what makes your heart beat faster. And when you connect with this purpose, your strength multiplies. You begin to act with a clarity and determination that cannot be ignored. Discipline is the key to transforming this purpose into action. There is nothing more powerful than the discipline of doing what needs to be done, day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you on track, even when motivation wavers. It's what makes you get up early, work hard, keep going, even on the days when things aren't going as planned. Discipline is the force that shapes your character and your ability to create the life you want. And as you take action, as you start moving forward, don't forget to celebrate your progress. No matter how small the step, celebrate it. Because every achievement, no matter how small, is a reflection of your commitment to success. Every victory, no matter how small, is proof that you are on the right path, that you are capable, that you are already becoming who you were born to be. Gratitude is the energy that will keep you moving. It is the key to transforming pain into a power, difficulty into learning. Gratitude is not only being thankful for the good things, but also for the lessons that difficult times bring. Gratitude is the fuel that transforms adversity into wisdom, that transforms fear into motivation. Gratitude is what keeps your spirit high, your mind focused, and your soul at peace. Now, more than ever, it's time to remember who you are and what you're capable of. The giant inside you is already awake, and all you need to do is take the next step. The path won't be easy, but it will be extraordinary. And each step you take is proof that you have chosen to be more than your fear, more than your circumstances. You have chosen to be the architect of your own life, the creator of your own destiny. You are already everything you need to be. You just need to remember. And the first step begins now.